Hey guys, Ellie here, and we just arrived at Morgan Square Plaza in National City, San Diego.
Often characterized by its rich historic past, National City is actually the second oldest city in San Diego County. It is home to over 60,000 residents, and it continues to grow with its desirable neighborhoods and close proximity to downtown San Diego.
Alan Jin with the University of San Diego says the lack of affordable housing is the biggest problem for San Diego's economy. And he also says accessory dwelling units are the perfect way to combat these issues for both homeowners and renters across the entire state.
Whoever decides to build an ADU can rent it out to generate passive income as well as increase their real estate's overall value for resale purposes. However, due to this recent inflation, building materials and construction costs have risen, and even with the benefits, not every homeowner can commit to a project of this size.
National City is another city in San Diego County that is affected by the national housing shortage. And because of this, the state of California has launched the ADU grant program, offering up to $40,000 off the pre-construction costs of an accessory dwelling unit.
The ADU grant program has raised the grant amount to cover up to $40,000 off the ADU project cost for each homeowner. This is enough to construct 2,500 ADUs across the state. To qualify, homeowners in Chula Vista must meet a few requirements. Household income cannot exceed $211,000 each year. The grant applicant must be the owner of the property. The property owner must plan to live on the property. And the property owner must agree to rent out the newly built unit. Download the ADU Grant Qualification Guide to learn more about the requirements to qualify for this grant. The grant covers pre-construction costs of the ADU, otherwise known as soft costs. Some of these include inspection, estimation, site prep, land surveys, soil tests, impact fees, architectural drawings, project design, and more.
So if you own property in National City and decide to build an accessory dwelling unit, it will not be difficult to rent out the space. So let's take a look at the rental income that you can generate right here in National City.
The average rent of a studio apartment in National City is $2,453. The average rent of a one-bedroom apartment is $2,834. And the average rent of a two-bedroom apartment is $3,871.
So if you're interested in building an ADU in National City, it's important to know the basic information about the ADU regulations to determine the feasibility of your project.
Allowed location. You can usually have an ADU on your property if residential uses are allowed, but there may be exceptions. You must have an existing or proposed single-family home on your property or an existing multifamily building. Minimum lot size. There are no minimum lot size restrictions. The property can be any size and be eligible for an ADU. Number of ADUs allowed. If you have a single-family home, you can usually build 1 or 2 ADUs on it. On multifamily properties, how many ADUs are allowed depends on what kind of ADU is built and how many units are already there. Minimum and maximum building sizes. Junior accessory dwelling units. The minimum is 150 square feet and the maximum is 500 square feet. Detached accessory dwelling units. Up to 1,200 square feet. Attached accessory dwelling units. The minimum size of an ADU must be 150 square feet, and the maximum unit size could be 50% of the gross floor area of the primary dwelling, or at least 850 square feet for units with 1 or fewer bedrooms, and 1,000 square feet for units with 2 or more bedrooms. Setbacks. Front yard. Must be consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. Side yard. For accessory dwelling units with a height of 16 feet or less, side setbacks shall be 4 feet or consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. For accessory dwelling units with a height over 16 feet, side setbacks for the portion of the building that is higher than 16 feet shall be consistent with the setback requirements of the underlying zone. Rear yard. For accessory dwelling units with a height of 16 feet or less, rear setbacks must be 4 feet or consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. For accessory dwelling units with a height over 16 feet, rear setbacks for the portion of the building that is higher than 16 feet must be consistent with the setback requirements of the underlying zone. Parking. Attached and detached ADUs will require 1 parking space. unless your project qualifies for an exemption from the parking requirements.
So if you are a homeowner in National City interested in applying for the ADU grant program, applying is entirely free. Go ahead and book a free consultation with one of our ADU experts. They will get started discussing your project plans for a quick and easy approval.